Hi, I'm Robert Osborne, and we next take a trip to the circus, and in some fine company, too. Doris Day, Jimmy Durante, Stephen Boyd, and Martha Raye. Our film is Billy Rose's Jumbo, from MGM in 1962, based on a Broadway hit that was one of the most spectacular shows anyone had ever attempted on a Broadway stage before. It was done at the Mammoth Hippodrome Theater in New York City 27 years before this film version was made. That 1935 stage extravaganza produced by a famous showman named Billy Rose, which is why the movie is called Billy Rose's Jumbo, even though you won't find any character in it named Billy Rose. But one of the stars of that Broadway show back in 1935 was the great Jimmy Durante. Soon after that show opened, MGM bought the movie rights, but then they had to keep postponing making a film version. It was initially delayed because of World War II. Then for the next 3 decades, came an endless string of other reasons it was postponed. Eventually, though, it did make it to the big screen, and with its original star, the great Durante, in it. And among those who worked on this film, behind the camera, was Busby Berkeley, who's credited as the second unit director, which is actually quite a come down from his heyday as a full-fledged director and choreographer, particularly in the 1930s. This was the first movie project, though, that Busby Berkeley had worked on in 8 years. He was in his mid-60s. He was considered at the time something of a Hollywood dinosaur. And the way he was used to working with big budgets and acres of girls and long hours, that belonged to a Hollywood era that no longer existed. But the director of this movie, Chuck Walters, nevertheless asked Berkeley to stage the musical numbers in the film, and Berkeley did. It turned out to be the last full-scale musical on which he did work. Also the last musical made by the great Doris Day. Now, there are many asterisks connected to this film. It marked a temporary return to movies for Martha Raye, and a big change of pace for leading man Stephen Boyd, who was fresh from his great success as the villain in the Academy Award-winning Ben-Hur. So here from 1962, very entertaining movie, Billy Rose's Jumbo.